What's up, guys? Today is the day I've been waiting for quite some time. I know I haven't been on YouTube probably the past month, but just been getting some parts made, prototyping some things, getting my trans put back together, a few other things. I had to get some help to do what I did today. Yeah, so as you can see behind me, I got the 12L Volkswagen VR6 sitting in my E30. Sits in there pretty well. Yeah, so I made a couple custom mounts for this motor. One is on what will be the passenger side of the motor, pretty standard. Bolt locations, not much is used there in a factory sense. So that was pretty easy to determine. Driver's side, however, being a dry sump motor, I also want to keep my power steering and air conditioning, as this will be mainly a street car. Not sure how feasible that is. I mean, it's feasible, it's doable for sure. I know I'll probably get some hate. Why are you doing that? You know, you're going dry sump. Why are you thinking about keeping those things? But because I want them, so it doesn't really matter. Anyways, getting kind of off topic here. So that being said, a lot of people going longitudinal setup for rear wheel drive will get rid of the accessory bracket, or at least the bottom half of the accessory bracket on the VR6 motor, and I did not want to do that because the bottom half of the accessory bracket holds my power steering pump as well as air conditioning. It's also in the very front of the motor, so it being in the front of the motor, it just didn't really make sense with where my mounts in the car already are. It'd have to go about 9 inches forward, and it just seemed kind of weird. So I made this plate, or this part, that basically converts the old oil filter housing bolt locations into a motor mount. I'm going dry sump, so one of those holes is going to be blocked off anyways, because that is kind of hard to explain. But anyways, one of the holes is going to be blocked off. So I only need one hole of the two to be open, and I made this plate that converts the 3 bolt holes, leaves that hole open, so I can thread an AN fitting into. It'll be a little easier when I show you. We can take a look at those parts. I'll get a close-up of each one and talk about them a little bit more. So the first one I'm going to show you, well, you're going to see 2 of them. It's going to be the passenger side motor mount setup. See if I can get over here a little bit. So as you can see, this is the one flange for the passenger side. Bolts right into factory bolt holes. Pretty easy to pick those 4 bolts. Line up pretty well with the factory motor mount location. So basically I just need to get from here to here, and I'm not sure what way I'm going to do that. It might end up sitting this way. It seems to line up a little bit better. But yeah, so that is the passenger side. Now the driver's side is a bit more complicated. Figured I'd pull this part off real quick just to show you guys what I actually made. This is going to be the driver's side motor mount. This is going to be the oil inlet. This is going to be tapped for a, I think it's a, I can't remember if it's a -10 or -12 AN fitting. So this is going to be like 7/8 14 or something, I believe. tapped so we can put a fitting there, and then O-ring boss on the other side to mate up to the block. For the motor mount to actually attach to, but I think I'm going to redesign this whole thing. I kind of like the idea, instead of coming out of the front here with my AN fitting, I'm thinking about meeting this hole, so drilling it in the bottom, you know, drilling it about halfway through right here, all the way up to that hole here, and then being able to screw in my AN fitting down here. So I can use this whole surface to mount on. So that way, you know, I could do all of this. I could make it a complete rectangle if I wanted to, and then I had all of that extra to mount on. So I think I'm gonna do that. We'll see, but I thought you guys might want a close up of the part, so there it is. Yeah, I mean, it looks like there's gonna be plenty of room for a turbo. Not sure what I'm gonna do for the intake here. It gets here, let me pull this up. It's pretty close. I plan on making a short runner intake out of the stock VR6 lower, but as you can see right here, it gets pretty close to the brake booster. Get you a close up right there. I mean, it's really close, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to clear that or not. So I'm probably, seems like I'm gonna have to get rid of the power brakes and just run some sort of aftermarket cylinder. But yeah, yeah, that's about it, I guess. At this point, test fit a couple other things. I'm gonna pull this motor back out so I can, I need to pull the front subframe out. Get that, send that off to the blaster, cut off a couple flanges, weld on my garagistic. I guess I'll pull that out. I don't think you guys have seen it yet. It's just the garagistic subframe reinforcement kit. Pretty straightforward. A couple little pieces, tabs I gotta weld on. A couple of those parts. I think I'm gonna pull off the rear control arms too, and weld on the garagistic rear control arm reinforcements, which make them kind of like an M3, I believe. Yeah, so, but otherwise, thanks once again for listening, making this build possible. Got some stuff in the works. I hope it turns out. My cash flow is a little on the tighter side at the moment, but that should change shortly, so let's keep doing it. See you guys.